Story time! Our freshman year of high school, we decided that it would be super funny if we switched classes for the whole day.
Since we were new to the school, no one could tell us apart, especially our teachers.
We planned out our day, we wore the same outfits and the same hair, and we gave each other our schedules.
We went over everything we did in class. We kind of had different personalities, so she was more of the troublemaker, and I was just kind of quiet in class.
We ended up giving each other our backpacks, homework, and we switched IDs.
So I walked into my first class, and some of the kids started to notice that I wasn't Mackenzie, except for the teacher, so I was good.
My first block went really good too. No one really noticed at all, actually.
So from second block to fourth block, none of the teachers noticed that we switched classes.
By lunchtime, pretty much all the students knew, and everyone was talking about it. So after lunch, we were going into our 5th period class, and Malia didn't tell me, but she had a presentation due. I obviously wasn't prepared, and that's when my teacher noticed.
I was just chilling in my class, and then my teacher got a phone call.
Light for part 2! Part 2! So I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail about how my teacher found out I wasn't Malia. So this was a group project, and my group was helping me because they knew I was Mackenzie, not Malia. They told me exactly what to say. When our group was presenting, everything was going perfectly smooth, but then my teacher says in these exact words, "You're not Malia, are you?" At this point, I was like, I'm not going to deny it, she knows. So I was like, yeah, I'm Mackenzie. And then she called my teacher.
The class I was in. So I was in her English class taking a test for her. And so my teacher gets a phone call, and he picks it up and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you're right." So he hangs up the phone and he looks directly at me, and my heart's like pounding because I'm so scared to see what he's about to say. And then he says, "You're not Mackenzie, are you?" And I was like, "No." So I'm like freaking out because everyone's staring at me and I thought I was going to get in trouble. And then he said, "You totally got me. I thought you were Mackenzie." And then he told me I was welcome back anytime, and I was like, "What?"
Stay tuned for part 3! Part 3, booze!
Even though the English teacher was pretty chill about it, we still had to switch back because our other teacher was really mad.
And they told the principal.
So we were both walking back to our classes, and I walk in and everyone's staring at me and they start laughing, but my teacher was pissed. So I immediately apologized to my teacher because she was so mad, but she told me to have a seat and then we just went on with class.
So I walked back into my class and everyone's just laughing hysterically. Then they started taking pictures of me and posting it on their Snapchat story. So for the rest of the day, we just went on with our normal schedules.
So we went home and everything was fine. But then the next day...
So we went to school and everything was quiet, everything was all good until 5th period again.
So the dean comes in my class and I'm like freaking out because he looks at me and he goes, "Let's go to my office." So I'm sitting up in the office and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go grab your sister."
So once I got up to the office, we both had to write a paragraph about what happened and call our parents. We warned our parents the day before and they knew that they were gonna get a phone call.
So long story short, we had Saturday school and it really sucked.
The end!
When I was a kid, my favorite drink of all time was Nesquik. There was chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, but my favorite flavor was banana milk. For some reason though, I haven't been able to find it in stores for like years, so my brother did some research and actually found it for sale online and gave it to me as a gift for my birthday. But since it was coming from a different country, we had to wait like 2 weeks for it to come in. When it did arrive, I was obviously super stoked, so I ran to the kitchen, opened up the package, and God bless, my childhood came back to me. I put in a scoop, then I was like, oh hell no. Nah, I deserve 2 damn scoops. Then I poured some milk in there and boom! Banana milk is back, baby.
So if you didn't see the first video, I flew across the country to meet a girl that I met on TikTok to help her drive back so she can be with her family in Miami. Here's what happened next. We met outside her car and we were both relieved that neither of us were catfished. Phew. She took me to El Matador Beach in Malibu, where we had In-N-Out right on the beach. It was amazing. I also jumped in the water and it was really cold. Met her sister's family and we started our road trip. We drove through Vegas and then tried to go to the Hoover Dam, but it was closed. But then found this cool little hike right around the corner. We had a little trouble with almond butter, but then we kept driving and watched the sunset on top of this beautiful mountain just south of the Grand Canyon. We set our alarms and got up super early to watch the sunrise at the Grand Canyon, and it was so worth it. And then... just kidding, but I did ask her to be my girlfriend and we shared our first kiss. We drove for a bit more and had a picnic on the side of the road. Some people slept, and then we drove to El Paso where we spent the night and started driving through Texas, had some Texas barbecue, and drove through Texas. We stopped for some spicy margaritas on the San Antonio Riverwalk. It hit some people harder than others. It feels like we're never leaving Texas.
Crazy ass story time. 23 years ago, there was this mother of 2 children who just recently had a 3rd child. Soon after, the newborn baby was sleeping in the nursery while they were throwing a house party, and unfortunately, during the party, the house caught on fire. Everyone scrambles out of the house and they couldn't get to the baby, and then the cops concluded that the baby had died in the fire. But her other 2 kids made it out alive. And even though the cops told her that her baby had died, she refused to believe it. Many years later, the mother took her 2 children to a birthday party, and there was this other woman there with her child. And now the mother looks at that child and is in shock because she looks so much like her other 2 kids. She goes up to the little girl and says that she has bubble gum in her hair so that she can steal a few strands of her hair. She took it to a lab and they DNA tested it, and that little girl was her child. So it turns out many years ago during that house party, a woman that the mother knew went upstairs, took the baby, and started the fire so that the baby would be declared as dead and she could easily get away with kidnapping her. And then she ran from the cops and they can't find her.
Story time. So one time when I was at work, I had just gotten back from my lunch and I went to the bathroom and realized someone else was in there. And as I'm chilling on my phone on the toilet, I see the hand of the woman in the stall next to me. And I'm like, oh, she must need some toilet paper. Then I see she starts kind of sliding under my stall and I'm like, and she kind of starts to like seize. And I'm like, oh God. And I get up real quick and I pull up my pants and I'm shouting, ma'am, are you okay, ma'am? Just hold on, okay, I'm gonna go get some help, ma'am, just stay with me, ma'am. So then I go find a manager and see him right outside the bathroom, and I said I needed help because there's a woman in the bathroom who just fell off the toilet. So he comes strutting into the bathroom and asks me what's happening. As I'm explaining it to him, she starts to stand up and he goes to help her. He then hands me his phone and tells me to call 911. As I'm explaining what's happening to the person on the phone, my manager tells me to tell them that she overdosed. The lady then realizes what's happening and zooms out the door, and me and my 2 managers have to follow her out to the parking lot. I'll post part 2 of this blows up.
One time I was at my friend Shannon's house and it had always been her dream to be a bus driver. So we decided to go and steal a bus and drive it around. So we hopped in her car and drove to the nearest bus parking lot. She broke open the door and as soon as we stepped into the bus we saw a man in a bus driver uniform and Shannon's brother. Turns out they had been doing the deed for months. He was arrested and Shannon later moved away. I miss her dearly.
All my friends are dead. All my friends are dead. Most of my friends are. What? Oh. I was never friends with that guy. Dang it. All my friends are hoaxes. I sort of resent that. All my friends are undead. All my friends are bread. All my friends are Phil. Thanks, Doug. The only ship we need is a friendship, huh, Phil? Friendship. All my friends expired on Tuesday. All my friends are puddles. All my friends are Kentucky Fried. All your friends are delicious. Oh my... This job makes me feel so alive. Howdy.
So this girl was interested in this item. She messaged me a while ago asking how much it is. I said it's £20 and free postage. Then she asked if I could do 15 and I said, sorry, I'm afraid £19 is the lowest I'll go. Then she offered 15 again. I said, sorry, I can't go lower, good spelling. And then she started spamming me, but like really spamming me. She said she should have it for free. What about 17? I have no jumpers. And it's like, this is why I ignore people because look at this. So then I said, sorry, £19 is the lowest again. She still offered 17. So then I had to just say, sorry, I've already said no. And then she spammed me again. And then started saying oi, like why would I reply to that? And basically just kept spamming me. She could have bought it at any point if she wanted to, like instant buy was on, all you had to do was press buy. But I wasn't going to lower the price and I knew that's what she wanted. And then it sold. Come back for part 2 because it gets beefy.